What if I told you there is one silent rule that has quietly separated the wealthy from everyone else for thousands of years? A rule that isn't taught in most schools, rarely discussed in ordinary conversations, and often discovered only after decades of struggle. It isn't a secret investment. It isn't a lucky opportunity. And it certainly isn't about being born into the right family. In fact, many people hear this principle throughout their lives, yet very few truly understand it. Ancient teachers often said that wealth leaves clues. They observed that while economies changed, kingdoms rose and fell, and currencies came and went, one invisible principle remained remarkably consistent. Those who understood it didn't simply earn more money. They built lives that continued producing value long after others had stopped striving. Those who ignored it often found themselves trapped in the same financial cycles, no matter how hard they worked. So what is this silent rule? Stay with me until the end of this series, because the final lesson may completely change the way you think about money, opportunity, and success. Imagine two builders receiving the exact same materials. The first rushes to construct the walls. The second spends extra time strengthening the foundation. At first, the first builder appears to be winning. The house rises faster. People admire the visible progress. But when the storms arrive, only one house remains standing. Ancient wisdom teaches that wealth follows the same pattern. Most people spend their lives building what everyone can see. The truly wise spend their early years building what almost no one notices. Their habits, their discipline, their reputation, their ability to solve problems, their patience. These invisible assets eventually produce visible results. The tragedy is that our world celebrates outcomes while overlooking the years of preparation behind them. People admire the harvest, but rarely respect the seasons of planting. Here's the first truth. Wealth is not merely something you accumulate. It is something you become capable of managing. This is why two people can receive the same opportunity and produce completely different results. One wastes it, the other multiplies it. The opportunity wasn't the deciding factor. Preparation was. Ancient teachers compared wisdom to fertile soil. Money is like seed. Place valuable seed on rocky ground, and little grows. Plant the same seed in rich, prepared soil, and it produces a harvest far beyond the original investment. The same principle applies to life. Your mindset becomes the soil in which every opportunity grows, or withers. Most people ask, how can I earn more? The wise ask, how can I become more valuable? That single shift changes everything, because income often follows the value you consistently create. When you solve meaningful problems, keep your word, continue learning, and serve others with excellence, opportunities begin to recognize you before you even chase them. But here's where the story becomes even more interesting. There are silent habits that either increase your value or quietly destroy it every single day. Most people repeat these habits without ever realizing the price they're paying. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to move from one opportunity to another with ease, while others work twice as hard and still struggle to get ahead? It's tempting to call it luck. Ancient wisdom calls it preparation. The silent rule begins revealing itself in the smallest daily decisions. Choice is so ordinary that most people overlook them completely. The first habit is thinking like an owner instead of a consumer. A consumer asks, what can I buy? An owner asks, what can I build? One spends money to satisfy today's desires. The other uses money, time, and knowledge to create tomorrow's opportunities. This is why two people with the same income often end up living completely different lives. The second habit is protecting time. Money lost can often be earned again. Time never returns. The wealthy understand that every hour is an investment. Instead of asking, how can I stay busy? They ask, what creates the greatest value? They eliminate distractions that steal attention from meaningful work. The third habit is learning before earning. Many people search endlessly for shortcuts. Ancient teachers search for understanding. Knowledge becomes skill. Skill creates value. Value attracts opportunity. The process cannot be rushed. And finally, there's a habit of keeping promises, especially the promises you make to yourself. When you repeatedly break your own commitments, confidence quietly disappears. But every promise kept strengthens discipline. Discipline strengthens character. Character earns trust. and trust opens doors that money alone never could. The silent rule is becoming clearer. The rich often build themselves before they build their wealth. The poor often wait for wealth before building themselves. That difference changes everything. But there's another principle even more powerful. It explains why some people keep growing richer long after others stop progressing. Let's discover it. Imagine planting one seed. Years later, you don't have one tree. You have an entire orchard. That is how lasting wealth works. It multiplies. Ancient wisdom teaches that everything valuable has a potential to grow, but only when it is cultivated faithfully. This applies not only to money, but to knowledge, relationships, skills, integrity, and reputation. Every book you read compounds. Every new skill increases your future value. Every trustworthy action strengthens your reputation. At first, the progress feels invisible. Then something remarkable happens. The results begin arriving faster than the effort that produced them. People call it overnight success. Ancient teachers called it a harvest. The wealthy understand another important truth. Small improvements, repeated consistently, become extraordinary over time. One extra hour of learning each day. One wise financial decision each week. One meaningful relationship nurtured each month. None of these seem life-changing. Together, they transform a lifetime. Meanwhile, many people underestimate the power of consistency because they focus only on dramatic breakthroughs. But mountains are climbed one step at a time. Fortunes are built one wise decision at a time. Strong character is formed one honest choice at a time. The silent rule isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's about becoming the kind of person who keeps growing regardless of circumstances. Because when your habits improve, your opportunities improve. When your thinking expands, your possibilities expand. And when your character becomes stronger, success has a solid foundation to stand on. But perhaps the greatest lesson of all has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with purpose. Imagine reaching the end of your life with every luxury you ever wanted, but realizing you never became the person you were capable of becoming. Would that truly be wealth? Ancient wisdom answers with a powerful reminder. No amount of money can replace a life lived without purpose. The silent rule that separates the rich and the poor is not hidden because someone is keeping it secret. It is hidden because most people overlook it. They chase visible rewards while ignoring invisible foundations. The truly wealthy understand that money is a tool, not an identity. It should create freedom, not fear. It should expand generosity, not arrogance. It should strengthen purpose, not replace it. This is why wisdom has always been considered the greatest investment. It teaches you not only how to gain wealth, but how to keep it, how to use it wisely, and how to leave behind a legacy that continues blessing others long after you're gone. Here's the challenge. For the next 7 days, don't ask yourself, how can I make more money? Instead, ask, what value can I create today? What skill can I improve? Whose life can I make better? Those questions quietly transform ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. Remember, money follows value. Trust follows character. Opportunity follows preparation. And lasting wealth follows wisdom. That is the silent rule. It has separated builders from dreamers, creators from consumers, and those who leave a legacy from those who leave only possessions. If this message challenged your perspective, type value in the comments below. Let's see how many people are committed to becoming more valuable before becoming more wealthy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson on timeless wisdom, wealth, purpose, and abundant living. And remember this, the richest people are not simply those who own the most. They are those who have learned to create lasting value wherever they go.